Welcome back to Pimp My Setup. Today we're going to be taking a look at some insanely epic setups, and later we're going to hear from special guest BeginnersTech. So if you're interested in that, then sit back, relax, and interact, because the show starts now.
It's time for the original setup show dedicated to providing you with tips, tricks, and feedback to pimp out your setup. Hosted by Matt Philly with new special guests every week. Coming at you live in 3, 2, 1.
Help support the channel by joining the Swashin crew. It's only $1 a month and you get a special Discord ring. Head on over to swashintv/support to join. Hi everybody, my name is Matt Philly. This is episode 6 of Pimp My Setup. Be sure to hit that like button if you're enjoying the series. And without any further ado, let's hop into the first setup of the day, submitted by Jules, who's 21 years old. Jules uses their setup for gaming, editing, live streaming, and photography editing. Jules also wanted us to know that the cables for his mouse and keyboard are annoying, but he is going to be going fully wireless later this year. There's a lot of things that I love about this setup. I think the first would just be the desk. It's amazing. I absolutely love the look of it. Also, great use of space. This is a really organized setup, and your setup is crazy good, and it will only get better once you go fully wireless. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that looks. Really, the only thing that I can hate on in this setup is the fact that the left speaker is hidden behind the monitor. And I know when you have a monitor arrangement like this, it causes issues, but I do think you should figure out a solution, because right now that is not really ideal. And of course, I think something needs to go above the main setup on the wall. The reason I say that is because you have all the other space kind of used up perfectly, and then you just have this big blank spot on your wall. So maybe another Dragon Ball Z canvas, something along the lines of that would definitely work well. Jules, you got yourself 1 8, 2 9s, 2 10s, make your final score a 92. Next setup of the day is submitted by Espen, who's only 13 years old and uses his setup for gaming, and he wants to know what he can improve on. Luckily, Espen, that's exactly what this show is about. So I have to say, awesome theme here, really great use of shelving, very cool red LED combo on your desk, and really it's just a badass setup for a 13-year-old. I think the cable management is interesting. It's too bad you didn't really have any extra slack to, make it a little bit better and straighten it out. It is managed. Now, what I think you should do is probably stick to a red theme here, because that seems to be pretty overwhelming in the setup, but then you just have this main canvas that's like, nah, I'm good, I don't want to be red. So swap that out with something red, and I think this setup all of a sudden has a pretty consistent color theme. Also, I think that the left corner definitely needs something cool to go there. It's a little lonely right now, so come up with something for that, and I think your setup for 13 is insane. Espen got himself 3 9s, 2 10s, making his final score a 94. The next setup of the day is submitted by Jonny, who's 31 years old. He uses setup for gaming and streaming, and he can't drill anything into the walls. He wants us to know that he's in military housing, so it does kind of restrict him in certain areas, but I think looking at his setup, he did a pretty good job, all things considered. I love that you said this is in military housing, because that just makes it even more badass in the sense that it's this absolutely epic setup that's in just such an unusual spot. So knowing the circumstances just makes it that much better, in my opinion. I know some people are still going to be like, I don't know if that's a great spot, but he's working with what he has, and he did a great job. I love the sorts, despite the one sticking out just a little too far, but still, I think they're really cool. The LEDs really, honestly, make the setup for me. And he even said in his email that he was looking to get more lighting options. I think lights in a situation where it's somewhat temporary definitely make all the difference. I think the PC is also really dope and works well with the lighting. The cables are also pretty good. I think my main issue though with this setup is just the quantity. It's a lot. I'd probably try to condense, and over by the PC, I think that could definitely be worked on a little bit, especially on the monitor riser and so on and so forth. But I know it's hard when you're in your living space trying to have a badass setup. You need to find that balance. But Jonny did find his balance with 2 7s, an 8, a 9, and a 10, making his final score an 82. Next setup of the day is submitted by James, who's 46 years old. He's set up for gaming, and yeah, this setup is really unique and different, and you have a great display above the monitors, which normally, again, we see stuff on shelves that doesn't really work, and it's product boxes and stuff, but this is what I'm talking about. This right here is awesome. And of course, I can't forget to mention that the LEDs really do help here with adding some depth. Now, for things that I'm not a big fan of course, you're covering the speakers, but I did see at setupaddicts.com you are currently working on that, which is great. So you're moving things around. Definitely keep those speakers out in the open. Don't cover them up. And of course, with the PC being there, you're not centered to your desk fast, but like I said, I see you're working on that right now, so I'm looking forward to the final version. But definitely, you want to sit center to the desk, you want your speakers out in the open, and you want your PC to be in a spot where it's still on display, but it's not eating up valuable real estate. You also have mismatched monitors, which really, of course, isn't the end of the world, but consistency is key, and I think over time, if you were to upgrade or even just make them all the same, that would definitely look really badass here. And also, although the mouse pad is very cool, I think that it's seen better days. You know, just maybe replace that. The cables are good, minus the far left, you know, behind the chair, and the right side looks like less time was put into that. But other than that, I think the cables are pretty good. And honestly, the most important part of this is I just think you need something to make the walls pop. You know, the whole setup itself is popping pretty well, but I think if you were to paint the walls or just do something to kind of give it some dimension and separate it from the actual setup, the overall room would look even better. James got a 7, 2 8s, a 9, and a 10, making his final score an 84. Final setup of the day is submitted by Sky, who's 28 years old. He uses the setup for gaming and entertainment and doing some, he wrote pepper work. I think he means paperwork. And he also said, "I love your show." Stop it. No, okay, keep it calm. Aside from the setup, this room in itself is just different and crazy, and it looks expensive, like maybe you're in a really nice apartment or condo or something, and that definitely helps because if you really think about it, the setup is pretty straightforward. There's not a lot to it. There's not a lot of depth. So I think that just your surrounding area really helps you out here, and it kind of makes it look like it's straight from a magazine. Not to take away from your setup though, it is cool with the peripherals matching with the RGB rainbow, and I really love the old shrine that you have going on there. I think that's super cool. I think your theme is there, but I also think more could be added to it. I think that it's just a unique situation all around. From what we can see, the cables are great. You know, the setup is easy to use. It's very straightforward. I do think though, there are things you can add like speakers, even though you already have headphones, you know, speakers are a great essential asset to a setup. And I think the entertainment side of things just look very boring in comparison to the rest of the room. So I think if you add some life there, the whole room will just get better. If you were to just take the main components of the setup and plop it into another room, it wouldn't really have the same wow effect, I guess you can say. So I'm looking forward to see what you can do to improve that in an already awesome space. Sky got 2 8s, 2 9s, and a 10, making his final score an 88. Taking a look at the final scores, Espen came in first place with a 94 and Jonny in last with an 82. Now it's time for the part of the show where we hear from our special guest to find out what they thought of each setup and which one was their favorite. Today's special guest is BeginnersTech, aka Ryan.
What's up guys, it's Ryan from BeginnersTech here, aka that Scottish guy that no one understands. Let's jump into it. The first setup is from Jules. I'm definitely loving this setup. The countertop from IKEA, well, probably everything is from IKEA by the looks of it. Looks absolutely stunning. I definitely like the risers. And as for cable management, you have done an absolutely amazing job. As for the cons, I would definitely put something on that main wall above the monitors just to kind of set it off a little bit. But overall, I am definitely digging your setup. Okay, so the next setup is from Espen, who is 13 years old. And oh my god, for a 13-year-old, your setup is an absolute boss. You have done a great job here with all the shelving, all your little figurines, and the overall red theme looks absolutely stunning. I'm a massive fan of Marvel. If anyone follows my channel, they will know that I collect loads of different little toys and stuff. Cable management looks absolutely spot on. The only thing is that cable that runs down to the outlets, I really wish that you could maybe straighten it out or at least get some trunking and hide it, and it would look absolutely stunning. So the next setup comes from Jonny, who is 31 years old, and the theme is absolutely stunning. I am digging those badass katanas up on the wall. Overall, I definitely think you have got one awesome setup and the cables are pretty good. Con wise, I would say that there seems to be a lot going on here. I know that you probably need to use this as a living space as well, and your wife uses it. But I would probably try and condense a little of the stuff that is on the desk, maybe hide a little bit. So the next setup comes from James, and I am definitely digging it. That triple monitor setup looks very nice, and the LEDs, that contrast between the colours, is very unique. Some cons that I will say is that nice triple monitor setup, but they aren't matching, and that really bothers my OCD, and also the fact that they aren't center in the setup. Okay, so the last setup comes from Sky, who is 28 years old, and this setup is super clean, super simple, and I absolutely love it. I am definitely digging the wall. The kind of white brickwork just looks amazing. But on the entertainment side, I think everything looks just too clean and simple. Maybe go and add a little bit over there. I don't know, maybe throw a console on it. Maybe you like to hide everything and keep it simple. Just whatever works from you, but I would maybe add a few things over there just to make it pop a little bit more. But overall, everything looks great. Okay, so now that we have went through all the setups, my favourite is probably Espen, the 13-year-old, with that badass Marvel setup. Looks absolutely stunning. I was digging the monitor setup, all the pop toys. Just get that canvas above the monitor replaced. Tweet me a picture when you do, as I definitely would love to see it. And you are golden. So that pretty much rounds it up. Thanks to Matt for having me on, and I will see you soon. Peace.
Thanks so much to Ryan for being today's special guest. If you want to check him out, I'll leave a link to all of his stuff down below in the description. And also check out his setup. It's pretty badass. That's going to do it though for this episode of Pimp My Setup, episode number 6. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please hit that subscribe button. Also hit the like button. And I'll see you next week for episode number 7. Oh, and don't forget, I'm Matt Philly and you're not. Get out of my face. Have a great day. And I'll catch you on the flippity flop.